Hey, Rick! Sorry to bother you so late at night. I hope I'm not waking you up. I just wanted to say I'm really, really happy for you. I'm so glad that you and Sally are finally gonna be able to have your wedding. I'm really looking forward to it.
Wow, what's gotten into you, Grace? Sentimental text in the middle of the night? You haven't been drinking, have you?
In case you forgot, I'm kinda pregnant. So, yeah, no, I'm not drinking, you dork. I was just talking with Mom a little bit ago. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, and eventually your wedding next week came up, so I don't know, I just felt like texting you and telling you how happy I was for you. That's all.
Uh-huh. Oh, thanks for taking the time to text me, Grace. It still feels a little bit weird, though, having our wedding after all this time. I mean, good grief, we've been married for 2 years already. We just kept putting the wedding off because of one thing or another.
Yeah, and then there's the issue of Ryden. I'm sure it took some time to adjust to having you around. How old is he now? In the first or second grade?
Yeah, he just started the first grade this year. It's insane. Man, when I first met him, he was still going to preschool. Kids, huh? They grow up so fast.
Right? I was just thinking the same thing. I'll bet I'll understand how that feels once my baby is born.
Yeah, I'll bet it'll be even stronger for you. After all, Ryden isn't actually my kid, biologically anyway. If I have these kinds of feelings about him having only known him for a few years, I'll bet being around the baby from the moment they're born makes their development feel even faster.
Yeah, I'll have to be sure to treasure each and every moment. Oh, by the way, how are things going between you and Ryden? Is he excited for the wedding?
Is he excited? My gosh, I don't even think excited is a strong enough word to describe how he's feeling. It's like he's gonna blast off to the moon any second now. I mean, Ryden's always been super clingy around Sally since I first came into the picture. Even back when we first got married, I could kind of tell that he had a weird mix of feelings about the whole thing. Like, it's not that he was against us getting married, just that he wasn't sure how to process it, I guess. So, I'm surprised he seemed to be looking forward to the wedding so much.
Huh. I always had the impression of Ryden being kind of a mischievous little boy. But you say he's a pretty hardcore mama's boy, huh?
Well, he is at a kind of an awkward phase in life. Going to school more hours per day, learning more difficult things, that kind of stuff. Plus, she's his only biological parent. I think he's equally as devoted to her as I am. Actually, I take that back. He might be even crazier about her than I am.
That's kind of cute, actually.
Well, I'm glad you think he's cute. Meanwhile, I have to fight with a 6-year-old boy every time I want to have some private time with my own wife.
Okay, too much information, thank you. Anyway, I think it's really admirable the way you've stepped up and became a father figure for Ryden. My little brother's all grown up.
I think it's high time you dropped a little when you're referring to me. But yeah, I knew exactly what I was getting into when I married Sally. I came into this marriage fully prepared to fill the role of father for him. I've thought of him as my son from day one, even though there's no blood between us.
Stop! If you impress me any more than you already have, I might not be able to tease you as much. But yeah, from my point of view, it seems like Ryden has bonded really well with you over the last few years. I'm glad things are going so well for you.
Well, it's not like there aren't challenges. You know Sally, she can have a bit of a juvenile side to her at times, right? I'm really not pleased with the language she uses towards you, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I think it's cute the way she acts. She has a super youthful spirit. She's adorable. And, I've always wanted a little sister to play with.
Yeah, terribly sorry to disappoint you by having a Y chromosome. But Ryden has a pretty similar personality to Sally. He can be pretty mischievous at times, just like you said. He's pretty prone to pranks, and some of them go a bit too far. You wouldn't believe how many messes I've had to clean up for him this last week alone.
I guess that's just a part of being a parent, huh? I'm gonna have to hope my child isn't going to be as much of a brat as I used to be. I might be your older sister, but the two of you have more experience than me at raising kids. So I hope you won't mind giving me some advice when I have problems, will you?
Hey, if there's anything I'm qualified to give advice on, I'll give you as much as you want. By the way, you're gonna be coming to our wedding, right?
Of course I am. You think I'm the kind of person to skip out on my own little brother's wedding?
There you go with that little again. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about you being pregnant. You know, morning sickness, back pain, that kind of stuff. Do you think you'll be able to sit in the cathedral for about an hour or so without getting uncomfortable?
That. Nah, it's nothing you need to worry about. I've been pregnant for so long enough that I'm more than used to sitting uncomfortably. I mean, when you're as pregnant as I am, there really isn't any way to sit other than uncomfortably. But worst case scenario, my husband's folks are gonna be there too, so I can have them take me home if need be.
You do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself and the baby, you hear? Don't worry about us or the wedding. If you need to stand up, move around, or even go home, that's all fine with me.
Thanks, Ricky. Okay, well, it's getting late. I should let you go. I'll see you at the wedding. Oh my God, Grace, I saw your dress. My mom sent me a picture of you trying it on the other day. So, are you really gonna wear that dress to the wedding? Yeah, I was planning on wearing it. Why do you ask, Sally? Is there something wrong with it? Does it maybe not go well with the color theme for your wedding? No, that's not it. It's just that I don't know, it's kind of flashy, don't you think? I mean, you are pregnant after all. Are you sure you want to wear that kind of dress? Well, when you're as late in your pregnancy as I am, you don't really have much of a choice as far as dresses goes. The rental shop we went to only had this and maybe 3 or 4 other dresses that were in maternity sizes. How can I say this? So the wedding is like my wedding, right? Mine and Ricky's? And with me being the bride and all, I was just thinking, it seems kinda, call it improper, I guess, for you to be trying to get more attention than me with that dress. Plus, you're married too, so don't you think you should dress a little bit more respectfully, both to me and yourself? What? Sally, that's not it at all. I would never try to steal the show away from you. I know it's your big day. But is the dress really that gaudy? I'm honestly shocked that you would even think that way about it. For the record, I thought that was the simplest one they had at the rental shop. You really think so? If that dress is the simplest one, what in the world do all the other ones look like? Do you maybe think you could get a different one? Like, if you went to another rental shop, they might have something that would be better for you. Well, Sally, the wedding is tomorrow. I can't go out and find a new dress in the next few hours before dinner. I'm sorry, but I hope you understand that it was never my intention to stand out with this dress. Come on, seriously? You're still gonna wear that dress? Even though I told you how much it bothers me? I'm the bride. It's my big day. I don't want everyone staring at you when they should be looking at me. I don't think you'll need to worry about that. After all, no one's coming to the wedding tomorrow to see me. They're all coming to see you and Ricky. There's no way they'll be averting their eyes from the front of the room to gawk at my pregnant belly. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Plus, you guys have quite the wedding plan, don't you? Ricky's been raving about how fabulous you look in your dress. I can't wait to see it. Don't worry. Once you walk down the aisle, everyone in the room is gonna have their eyes glued to you the entire time. Yeah, I guess you're right. We did plan a pretty awesome wedding. I'd even say it's gonna be way nicer than your wedding. Are you jealous? Are you kidding? I'm way too happy for you to be jealous. Sally, this is gonna be great. You worked so hard to put everything together just the way you wanted it. So for real, Sally, don't worry. Believe in yourself. It's gonna be an absolutely perfect day.
How is it that you're so good with words, Grace? Like, seriously, you always know exactly the right thing to say.
All I'm doing is expressing my honest opinion. I know that you're gonna remember tomorrow for the rest of your life. You're the bride, Ricky's the groom, and I'm just some woman with a big belly sitting up towards the front. No one's even gonna notice I'm there.
Well, if you say so. All right then, you can go ahead and wear that dress if you really want to. But just so we're clear, you had better not do anything to stand out, got it? This is my wedding, and I don't want you doing anything that's gonna get in the way.
I know, Sally, don't worry. About the only thing I can imagine happening is I maybe start to feel sick while sitting in the chapel. I'll hold back as much as I can, but there is a small chance that I might have to step outside to go to the bathroom during the ceremony. I hope you'll understand if that happens.
Are you kidding? Everyone's gonna notice if someone sitting up front leaves the room. You can't do that.
I'll do my best to be inconspicuous. And like I said, I'll be sure to hold back as much as I can. I'll only leave the room if it's a big emergency. So, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? You make sure to get plenty of rest tonight. You're gonna need it.
Hey there, Grace. Sorry about Ryden kicking you so hard in the stomach like that. But seriously? Aren't you making way too big of a deal about this? He's only in the 1st grade, you know? How hard could he possibly have kicked? You didn't need to call an ambulance, you big drama queen. Oh, well, I guess this means you won't be coming to the wedding. Bummer, huh?
Hey, just what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Excuse me? Where do you get off talking to me like that? Plus, I see that you were so badly hurt that you needed an ambulance, but not bad enough that you can be texting with me right now. Was it all just for show or what?
If you're looking for Grace, the doctors are looking at her in the emergency room right now. It's me, Sally. Ricky. Now you want to answer my question?
Wait, Ricky? Oh, whoops. I thought it was your sister. When are you coming back to the chapel? We have to start the ceremony back up.
You can marry yourself for all I care. I'm divorcing you. So let's hear it. You're LOLing about my sister not being able to be at the wedding. What's up with that? What did you say to Ryden, Sally?
Hold on. What? Divorce? What are you talking about? It was just an accident.
If it really were an accident, I wouldn't be as mad at you as I am right now. I saw how weird Ryan was acting after he kicked Grace in the stomach. And now you're laughing about my sister going to the hospital. You'll have to excuse me if I find it hard to believe there's nothing screwy going on here.
But back up, Ricky. You just said you're gonna divorce me. What are you thinking, Ricky? Today is our wedding day. First your sister goes and interrupts the ceremony, and now you're divorcing me? What's going on with you?
To what's going on with me? Our son kicked my sister so hard that her water broke. What are we gonna do if something happens to the baby, Sally? How can you be focusing on the wedding at a time like this?
But that's her problem, not ours.
Are you insane? Of course it's our problem too. Now, enough dodging the question.
What do you mean, what question?
You know exactly what I mean. Why did Ryden do that?
I don't know, ask him. What are you asking me for? But you know Ryden, he's a really mischievous boy. He was probably just messing with her, that's all.
You write this off as him messing with her? Sure, Ryden can act up at times, but he would never do something to hurt anyone.
You're not even his real dad. Why do you act like you know him better than I do?
He may not be my biological child, but I consider him to be every bit my son. I've been the only dad he's known in the 2 years we've been married. So yeah, having known Ryden for a solid 1/3 of his life, I think it's fair to say I know a thing or two about the kid. So don't give me that BS, Sally.
This is completely crazy. Ryden is my son. I gave birth to him. And I am telling you, as his mother, that he just kicked her for no reason. that should be good enough for you.
Even if that were the case, this is absolutely not something we can dismiss as simple child mischief. Ryden's our son, and we need to take responsibility for what he did.
But why would we be responsible? Ryden's only a first grader. He's a kid. Kids do bad stuff sometimes. It happens. I don't see any reason for us to be concerned about anything.
It wouldn't matter if he were in elementary school or high school. As his parents, we have to take responsibility when he does something wrong. If we can't do that, we have no right to call ourselves parents.
You've only been his parent for 2 years. You don't have any right to be so sanctimonious about this.
This isn't sanctimony. It's the plain and simple truth. In any case, the wedding is off and I'm divorcing you. We can talk more about the details later.
I don't believe this. You're really gonna cancel our wedding? I won't stand for this. Ricky, are you there?
Boy, yesterday was pretty rough, wasn't it? How are you doing, Sally?
How am I doing? Thanks to you, not only did my wedding get canceled, but Ricky's gonna divorce me. How do you think I'm doing?
Well, what did you expect was going to happen? Fortunately, my baby was fine. I was so worried during my ride to the hospital.
There you go again. All you ever do is think about yourself. What about me? Ricky took Ryden and left the house. It's all your fault.
My fault? Please. Every single thing that happened yesterday was your fault, and everyone else was the victim of your actions. That includes me, my baby, Ricky, and even Ryden.
What are you trying to say?
So after I got taken to the hospital yesterday, Ricky took Ryden and went to my parents' house, right? Once they got there, Ricky sat Ryden down and had a little talk with him about what happened.
Oh, what did Ryden say? Not that I'm concerned or anything.
Oh, I think you know what he told us. He told us that you told him to kick me. Would you mind explaining that? You're gonna have to own up for it sooner or later, Sally. You might as well tell the truth now. You put me and my baby's life in grave danger. I'm not gonna let you clam up now that you've been found out. Why did you do that, Sally?
Because you were getting all the attention.
What? Are you talking about my dress?
Duh! How could you show up at my wedding dressed like that? You were obviously trying to steal the show from me.
We already talked about that. You saw the picture, right? You said you were fine with it.
Yeah, well, it looked a lot different in person. How dare you wear a prettier dress than me on what is supposed to be the happiest day of my life? How could you do that to me?
I didn't do anything to you, Sally. I just wore a dress. No one but you thought I looked prettier than you. Including me. I thought you looked great.
You don't really mean that. I see right through you, you narcissistic attention whore. You think you're prettier than me. You were intentionally ruining my wedding day.
That's ridiculous, Sally. But I could have gotten past this easily if your beef with me stayed between us. How dare you use your own child in your personal vendetta against me?
What's wrong with that? He's my son, isn't he? I get to use him however way I want. Ryden was a perfectly well-behaved boy that day. He did exactly what his mother told him to do.
Whew, wow, it looks like it won't do any good to talk to you about this. I really wish things didn't have to turn out this way, Sally. I always treated you like you were my own little sister.
Well, I always hated you. So, are we done here? Can I go now?
No, this isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. You still need to take responsibility for what Ryden did. What you did was a crime, Sally.
How is anything I did a crime? All I did was tell my son to do something. I didn't actually do it.
I may not be a lawyer, but even I know you can't instruct someone to commit a crime. When you told Ryden to kick me in the stomach, you were instructing him to commit assault. Based on the circumstances, you could have even been charged with attempted murder of my baby. So yeah, you've done more than enough to merit getting arrested.
Arrested? You're joking, right?
You instructed a child to attack a pregnant woman. The police are going to be very, very unhappy with you. And since you just admitted to what you did in your text just now, I have more than enough evidence to press charges against you.
Wait, you can't do that. If I get arrested, what's gonna happen to Ryden? Are you gonna send Ryden's mother to prison?
Don't worry about him. Ryden will be in the capable hands of his father, Ricky. And that's another thing I wanted to tell you. Ryden feels absolutely awful about what he did.
What do you mean?
From what Ricky tells me, Ryden was weeping bitterly the whole time the two of you were talking. He was terrified that my baby was gonna be hurt. How does that make you feel, Sally? A first-grade boy has more of a conscience than you.
But why would he feel bad about anything? He only did what I told him to do.
You might have given the instructions, but Ryden was the one who actually had to do your dirty work. I doubt he'll forget about this for as long as he lives. That's just how serious what you made him do was. Your act of petty jealousy is going to become a lifelong trauma for your own son.
But I shouldn't get arrested for that. I don't want to go to prison.
Really? I think you'd be glad to go.
What? Are you some kind of moron? Why on earth would I want to go to prison?
Well, you hate being around people who are prettier than you, right? You'll love being in prison then. There won't be anyone prettier than you in there. Although, the other inmates might not like you being prettier than them, so I suggest you watch your back. After that, I called the police and explained the situation. Sally was promptly arrested the very same day. Thanks to the evidence Sally was kind enough to provide me, the prosecutors were able to file charges within an hour. She was found guilty of all charges and sentenced to hard time behind bars. As for Ryden, who I see as the primary victim of Sally's maleficence, he's currently living with Ricky. Poor Ryden. He felt really, really bad about what his mom made him do. But once my baby was born and Ryden met her for the first time, it was like he was a completely different person. I'm sure it was reassuring for him to see the baby born perfectly healthy. Once Sally gets out of prison, I'm sure she'll be coming back for Ryden, but Ricky isn't going to give him up without a fight. He is currently talking with his lawyers to discuss their options to remove custody from Sally entirely. Due to how serious Sally's crimes were, they tell him that obtaining sole custody of Ryden should be a piece of cake. We're all super excited to watch Ryden and my baby grow up together and looking forward to continuing life as a big, happy family.
Hello again, Meg. I still can't believe it. My boyfriend turned out to be your little brother.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
I was so excited to meet his beautiful and smart sister. I never expected to see a dull person like you, Meg. I couldn't believe he described you that way.
Did Richard really say that?
Yeah, so I really wanted to tell him that you were our handyman in the office. I didn't because I wanted to leave a good impression.
I'm just doing my job.
That's why everyone hates you, Meg. You're dull and no fun to be around. You're not even pretty, but our boss loves you for some reason. Or are you actually dating him?
Stop being ridiculous.
I'm just joking. Don't try to take advantage of me just because you're gonna be my sister-in-law. I'm so embarrassed to be a part of your family. What am I supposed to tell my colleagues?
I don't think you have to tell them anything.
They're gonna find out at my wedding. I want our ceremony to be huge, so I'm planning to invite many of my colleagues. Oh, I have an idea. Do you want to participate in our wedding as my colleague, not as my relative? They won't find out, will they?
I don't think my brother or my parents would approve.
That's the problem. I can deal with it if it was just you. Oh, and make sure to tell your family we're great friends, okay? I'll pretend like we're besties, too.
All right, my brother loves you and chose you to be his wife. I want him to be happy too.
I'm glad to hear that. I also won't tell him about how you're being treated in our office. I bet you don't want your family to know. Richard won't want to know what his sister is really like.
I never felt embarrassed about myself, Fiona.
You don't have to act cool. You're always late finishing other people's work. Everyone looks down on you.
You're the only one looking down on me.
I don't think so. All of my colleagues think of you that way.
Fiona, I've told you this many times. You should finish the work that was assigned to you. You're employed and being paid for it.
Huh? Do you think you're better than me? And stop talking about work. It's my day off. I am skilled at talking to people more than doing computer work. I'll move to development or sales soon, so there's nothing to worry about.
Okay, I guess computer work's not for you.
Yes. I didn't know you lived with your parents, Meg. I don't want to see you every time I visit my boyfriend's family. How about you stop depending on your parents and start living on your own?
I lived alone at one point, but I moved back in after my mom had a surgery last year.
Your mother's perfectly fine now. Why do you still live with her?
Well, I only have to pay for my living expenses if I live with my parents. I don't have to pay for rent. I'm trying to save money for my future.
Oh, that's understandable. I can't imagine you getting married. I guess you have to start preparing for when you get older. I honestly don't want you to get involved in my life. So please leave the house as soon as possible. Meg, can you finish up the documents I gave you by the end of today?
That's what your group leader assigned to you?
But I'm planning to go look at our new apartment with Richard after work. He told me he found the perfect room. He wants me to check it out as soon as possible. Come on, I'm your pretty sister-in-law.
You're not officially married yet.
But our marriage is already decided.
I have my own work to do. If you want to leave early, I guess you'll have to work really hard.
Huh? I'm not asking you to help me. I need you to do it for me. Are you stupid?
I can't do it for you either way.
Do you understand your position? I didn't want to tell you this directly, but you should know that I can fire you anytime, okay?
Why can you do that, Fiona?
Do you remember Nancy, my colleague from sales? I made her leave. Did you know that?
Huh?
She's no use, like you, but she went to sales, the most prestigious department in our company. She left after I bullied her a bit. She shouldn't have survived in sales anyway with her weak mentality.
I never knew that.
Do you want to face the same consequences as her?
Well, not really.
Then I guess you should obey my orders. I'll take good care of you while I'm in this department. By the way, did you get the wedding invitation from Richard?
Yeah, he gave it to me yesterday.
And as a gift of celebration, I hope you can prepare $300,000 for us.
Huh? $300,000?
I know you can do it.
That's impossible. How can I prepare such a huge amount of money?
I thought you were saving money. You don't even go on dates. I bet you have a lot saved in your account. It's your little brother's wedding. Can't you at least do something for us?
Let me think about it.
You have no choice. I'll still be working here after my marriage. I can control you at work as well as at home, and your parents love me. No one's on your side.
As long as I'm doing the right thing, I believe that someone would be on my side.
You're living in a fantasy. Even if you plan to sue me or something, there's so many ways to escape from trouble.
Really? I can show my brother our conversations.
Then I'll cry saying you set everything up. I could also pretend that you edited our conversations. See, I can do anything. People would definitely trust me over you.
I'm sorry. I was wrong.
I'm glad you understand. It's fate for ugly and stupid people like you to be taken advantage of by people like me. I'll send you the documents I was assigned later. Make sure you finish it by the end of the day. Hey, Meg. I still haven't received the money. When are you gonna give it to me?
I'm sorry, you told me you wanted cash. I haven't had the time to go to the bank.
You could go during lunch break. Use your brain.
I don't think so.
It's $300,000. I can't just bring that amount of money to the office. It's my wedding soon. I have to go to the salon and beauty clinics. It requires money to stay beautiful.
But I thought it was a gift of celebration for your wedding. Can't I just give it to you on the day of your wedding?
Richard would obviously refuse to accept.
So you're planning to keep it a secret from my brother and to use everything on your own?
I invited you, who's ugly and single, to my wedding. I deserve it. Hurry up and give me the money. There's no use for you having so much money.
Fiona, my brother's actually looking at this conversation.
Huh?
And he's really shocked. He thought he was going to marry a kind and beautiful wife, but turns out she was trying to rob his sister.
Wait a minute, you have to be kidding. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
I'm serious. Didn't my brother text you?
He just texted me. He told me he wanted to reconsider our marriage.
See? How unfortunate.
Wait! You have to do something, Meg. If not, I'll make you leave the company.
Sure, try me.
Huh? You're gonna regret this.
I want to know what you're capable of.
You're just a useless person with a dull personality. Make sure you talk to Richard about our marriage, or I'll make you suffer in office.
Okay, I'll look forward to it.
Meg, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yep, I just finished work. I haven't seen you at the office for the past few days. Your colleagues looked really busy covering up for you.
I see.
Well, you won't be much of a help even if you were here. I bet the people around you had a hard time working with you.
I'm really sorry for what I did.
Sorry? For what?
I made you do my work for me and forced you to work late. And I also bullied you.
Nah, I'm okay. That's part of my job anyways.
I didn't know you were from Human Resources, Meg.
Well, not many know about it. There was a rumor that a group of people were bullying a single person, forcing her to leave. So I came here to investigate. I can't be too open about it, can I?
I guess you were pretending all this time?
To be honest, I was just being myself. I was getting things done in my own way. But the employees who were pressured to quit their jobs often had a quiet personality. So I was hoping to become the next target. Luckily, you started making fun of me as soon as I came here.
I'm sorry. I think I went a bit overboard. Honestly, I really respected you, Meg.
Oh, you don't have to flatter me. I know what you're really like.
The company now knows about how I've been bullying people, and Richard's about to dump me because of how I've been treating you. I really messed up.
Oh, that's a shame. I feel sorry for you, but don't you deserve it, Fiona?
Yeah, but I really regret everything I did.
It's too late.
Don't say that. I'm trying my best to become a better person.
Fiona, you're not a student anymore. You're an adult.
I know that.
If you really do, I think you should have known how childish your actions were.
But it happens everywhere. I've heard of bullying happening at part-time jobs as well.
What point are you trying to make? Do you think you can do it if others do the same? It's definitely childish to think that.
I wanted her to feel bad. Nancy moved to the sales department I always wanted to work for. She even started wearing makeup.
What's wrong about that? It's her decision to wear makeup. She might have wanted to give a better impression to her clients, and most importantly, it's none of your business.
But me and my colleagues thought she was acting like she's better than all of us.
So what? Does that justify your actions? You're really childish and selfish. I can't believe you're a grown-up adult. The company pays you salary because you work for them. There is nothing the company can offer you if you're just coming here to bully others.
It was my dream to work for this company. I worked so hard to enter a good university to achieve my dream. I don't want to get fired.
I bet Nancy felt the same, but she was pressured to quit just because you were selfish. I wonder how she felt when she turned in her resignation letter.
I'll apologize to Nancy.
You don't have to.
Huh?
That's what Nancy told me.
You talked with her?
At first, she refused to talk about it. When I told her that you admitted bullying her, she revealed she never wanted to quit while she cried. Isn't it unfair? She did nothing wrong, unlike you who bullied her.
I am really sorry.
And it's not just Nancy. My brother was heartbroken when he found out the truth. It took him 2 weeks to process his emotions after I disagreed about his marriage. And until he finally got the courage to see our conversation.
That's why he was acting weird? But why did you have to ruin our marriage? We really loved each other.
I never planned to interfere if you were just slacking off work. My brother looked happy and he trusted you, but as I found out the truth about you pressuring people to quit, and after you demanded me to pay $300,000, I couldn't help but tell my brother about it.
I'm so sorry, Meg. I really regret everything I did.
Really? Are you sure? Yet you were making excuses.
Why are you so mean? You don't understand how I feel. I made a mistake. Can't you just laugh it off?
How can I laugh it off? I don't even want to understand how you feel. Skilled at slacking off work and bullying people to the point they quit their job? I can't believe you're an adult. And you sound irritated about your own mistakes.
I'm not irritated. I was just trying to state my opinion. And I thought Nancy told you I didn't have to apologize.
Fiona, the victims never forgot what you did. They can never forgive you. If you have the energy to form opinions, reflect on your childish actions and learn from your mistakes. I hope you finally understand what it's like to be pressured through this conversation. After it was revealed that Fiona pressured Nancy to quit her job, she was fired from the company. Not only because she bullied her, but also because she slacked off work all the time. Her colleagues were also punished by pay cuts and being forced to move offices. Also, my brother broke off their engagement and their wedding was canceled. Fiona fell sick out of shock after she lost her job as well as her fiance. I heard she moved in with her parents to recover, but no one has any sympathy for her. At first, I was just disappointed with my brother for choosing a rude worker from the same office. But I had to tell him the truth about her bullying people and demanding me to pay $300,000. It was hard to tell him all of this, but he thanked me with a smile on his face, saying that he was glad I told him before he got married. I bet Fiona learned an unforgettable lesson from this incident. But she also created unforgettable trauma in the victim's memories. I don't know how she'll live her life, but I hope she makes wiser choices next time. And we called back Nancy to our company, considering how she still hasn't gotten a new job. The company apologized for not being aware of her situation, and we promised her to organize a new system to prevent something like this from happening again. Companies are a big organization, and therefore it's hard to realize the smallest details. And we might not be able to do everything perfectly. But we hope to help as many employees as we can who are treated unfairly. As a member of Human Resources, I will try my best so that diligent employees get the reward they deserve.